Okay, let's get started. As you can see, I've got the Leo pedal inside the case because my Chachi pedal is actually on my drum kit. And what I'd also like to state is that the case costs twice the value of the pedal. I don't think you'll see that too many times on the internet. Having a case that's worth twice as much as the pedal. As you can see, it fits perfectly. Nice snug fit. Can't complain at all. So, if you go out and buy a Leo pedal, do not go out and buy a case that costs twice the price. That is just ludicrous. But since I'm using my pedal, my Chachi pedal at the moment, I'm not going to let the case sit empty, and that fits perfectly. Okay, now I'm going to show you how to replace the springs in the Leo pedal. As you can see, this is actually a very short spring. That's what they've been sending the pedals out with at the moment, which is totally useless. This is the original spring they used to send these pedals out, and it's a much better match to this pedal. I told them that they couldn't get enough tension, and what they've done is started to send the pedals out with the short spring like that, which is totally useless because, as you can see, I barely just got this on and it's already too tight. You can't go any looser than that. And so if you do buy one of these pedals and they come with this particular spring, Gibraltar spring, which is standard size, which is basically nearly the same size as this original one, probably a few mils shorter. Replace it with this spring, which is the same as this type of spring. Just buy a pair of Gibraltar springs that cost you $10 or less for 2 springs, and you just replace it basically, and the pedal will work just fine. I know it feels cumbersome. I'm sure the spring is not going to break. This one might break if you try and put more tension on it. But the pedal can't really be used with the spring, so get rid of the spring. It's a Gibraltar spring. Put that Gibraltar spring onto it, and you won't have any problems. I doubt that spring is actually ever going to break, because on maximum tension, although it's got tension, it's not extra high tension at all. So it should never break. Loosen this. This is a slave pedal. On both pedals, you need to take that off. On this particular pedal, you need to take this off as well. This is the first one. And that exposes the shaft screw. The main pedal doesn't have this one. You can just take it all off basically. Let's loosen this. Don't have to loosen it all off, you just loosen it a little bit, take that out, and now you see inside for the big Allen key to go. The reason we're doing all this is because you can't actually access that section of the swivel for the spring tension easily enough. You can try and wiggle it out, and this just by loosening this one, but it's cumbersome. I found it's easier just to take everything off, loosen, take this one off, which I'll show you now how to do it, and then wiggle it off, and you can play around with it in your lap without playing around too much. If you're going to try and wiggle it in with this in the way, you're going to battle a bit, especially if the hook is actually quite closed, like a lot of even this particular one, it's a bit closed. You still got to wiggle it in, and it can be done, but sometimes you just get frustrated, and it's easier just to take everything apart. It takes an extra 5 minutes, and then away you go. Obviously this can't be done at a gig, but as I said, if you have this spring on it, I doubt it's ever going to break. It just hasn't got enough tension to break, to be quite honest. It'll be years and years of wear, which hasn't got much wear, because these parts actually swivel. They swivel, they've all got bearings, this part and that part, they're both bearings in there. So it swivels. It's not that it's on a contact point and it's wearing. It's basically swiveling on the bearings, on those two bearings there. Firstly, let's just get rid of the tension. Allen key in. Here we are. Just loosen that off, pull that off, and you can see the swivel is on it. What you can do, you can just take it off basically. Just remember this part here, the arm part, they've got spaces, so when you put it back, there we are. See, it's on a bearing swivel. Just get this out. Bit of a wiggle. There we are. Out. Get rid of that. It doesn't really matter which way you put the actual spring on it. I like to put my springs this way. Goes in pretty easy. Here we are. Screw the center bolt back on. Can only go in one way, the flat part facing up. Make sure it's tight in there. Give it a few cranks. I'll just tighten it so we can get the rod on. There's a spacer. You're welcome to try it. Different holes. See which ones you prefer. I like it as it is. There we are. Adjust your pedal height how you wanted it. Press down. So you've already got a lot of bolt to go. You've got a lot of way down. You can go quite a far way down. With the other useless spring, that was just on the end. As I showed you earlier. It was all the way there, and it was already tight. And if you tighten it a little bit more, it came too tight. I mean, as I said, this doesn't have to be done on the main pedal because you don't have that shaft. A bit of a tighten here. If you do it by finger, you can feel if it's too tight, and it's mis-threading, cross-threading. Get a bit of tension on it. There we are. Adjust the tension to your liking. I know it's taking more than 5 minutes, but I've been trying to explain, and rather than try and wiggle it out and put it in there, and it's easier just to do it like this. Take it out, 5 minutes, change your springs. Now I'll show you the different size springs. Well, that's about it. I'll show you how it's done on the main pedal. Okay, here we have the main pedal. Again, you can see there's no shaft coming out this side. The shaft is on the other side for the shaft itself. There's that useless spring again. Just get some tension off. Look at that. Nearly coming off. Off with this. Again, you don't have to take this part off because there's no shaft to take off. Okay, loosen it. There's no spaces on this particular bolt, just take it out. Bolt and spacer out. There we are, it's out. That came out pretty easy. Bottom spring connected. You can see bearing swivel. There we are. Back on the shaft. You can only go so far anyway. Bolt it up. Crank it a bit. Again, put some oil, if you've got oil, while you're doing all this. Gives you time to give it a bit of a service. You can oil all the parts. I'm just not doing the oil part yet because I'm just showing you how it's done. Again, finger tight, get it nice and level, nice and easy to get on.